5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the assignment was to create a Ubuntu server using VirtualBox, or using like a virtual machine. So I installed VirtualBox from Oracle, and then I've already downloaded the Ubuntu server ISO. We got the LTS, which is the long-term support version. So during the initial phases, I had opened the Ubuntu dialog. The virtual machine dialog, to like create a new virtual machine where you define like what type you want. Oh wait, this thing isn't showing. Just a short moment. Okay, it's already copying the screen. Okay, it's considered a separate screen. Okay, that's why. Let's see. I think if I go here, then I go here too. Okay. So like I was saying, I was creating a virtual machine. So this way, like, we define like the name and the operating system for the virtual machine. So for the name, I set it as the Ubuntu server, and then for the destination, like, I just let the system pick. And then I set the ISO image for the Ubuntu live server that we get for Windows, because I'm using a Windows machine. And then we proceed with the installation. So next they asked me to set up my username and then my password. So for the username, I used my name. Then for the password, well, confidential, so I guess we just leave it like that. So yeah, type in password, then confirm password. Then okay, so the next stage is defining okay, so there's the host name. So Ubuntu doesn't really allow the host name to be underscore, so I'm changing from underscore to a hyphen. Now for the task assignment, it said that we will have to give the virtual machine a specific amount of storage or base memory, and then a specific amount of CPU allocation, and then a specific amount of disk size. So memory being, the RAM, and then the CPU cores, and then the disk size. So disk size was 7 gig. Base memory was the translation of 4 gigabytes, so that's 4,096 megabytes, and then 2 CPU cores. So yeah, so let me just set that, and then we go to the next stage. So this way, like, it just displays like all the details for like a summary for like the virtual machine you are creating, so that you can check and be sure if everything is correct. So we just finish this up, and then let me switch to the screen of the server, should I say, running. So yeah, first let me move this and then get rid of it. Then which one? Okay, you can see the preview in the top corner. So let me just expand it and open it. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay, so if I why is this recording software so where is it? Okay, so this is the Ubuntu server, or more specifically the virtual machine that's trying to install and run it and set up the entire Ubuntu environment. So right now it's just doing all the installation processes, or at least it's now about to start. So right now it's saying Ubuntu server, and then it's starting the installation processes. So okay, this might take a while because it now has like connect and then go through the ISO file, make sure all the downloads, the checks and system configurations. So we'll kind of try to say speed run this portion. Yeah. So at this point we are kind of still doing the installation, so it's finished most of the processes. So if you look at it, you can see that it starts certain downloads or processes it needs to start, and then it finishes them. So right about now, like most of the downloads are pretty much done. So it's now like, should I say, reconfiguring yourself, looking through, being like, okay, like what else is there? Let me check through like the system, and then like it will check to the system and then perform a, should I say, a BIOS check. Like basically checks everything, checks if everything is like set up correctly, if it's configured right, if you can actually access the memory that you've allocated to the virtual machine and all that stuff. So it just takes a few moments. So yeah, so this right now is performing the checks and it's saying that okay, everything is okay, and then initially it asks you for your login. But then you have to wait for a while for it's like confirm like everything. So it checks the cloud model if everything is fine, if it has like a fingerprint scanner, so that you can set, like, so for this laptop you can set a fingerprint, but it basically just checks through the hardware to see if there are other things you should take note of, and then it provides you your SSH host key, and then after that point you can log into your Ubuntu server. So at this point I'm going to restart the Ubuntu server, because like, or should I say reboot the Ubuntu server, because it's like a good practice to like reboot the Ubuntu server in order to like kind of reset the system, restart. Like rebooting is generally a good practice to have for your virtual machine, or actually for any machine in general, especially if like you've been on it for a very long time, and especially if you just finished like installing something or updating something. That's why usually when you update your device, usually reboots or restarts. So I'm going to look through the details of the virtual box that we've created, just to be sure one more time that everything is right. Okay, so at this point we've looked through most, if not everything, on the Ubuntu server, and then we are just trying to make sure that everything is should I say okay. So now we are going to restart or start the Ubuntu server, or the virtual machine, which is in this case our Ubuntu server, and then we're going to, okay, it's taking a while to run. So it's going to run and then start the operation. So that's why like some of the buttons begin to gray out, because it's kind of like trying to tell you that okay, you are already starting, so you can't this thing isn't showing. Come on. Why does it this thing repeats the virtual machine screen? Okay, so right now Ubuntu server is running, and then you can see it in the preview that the preview is open. So let me expand it. Okay, so this is our Ubuntu server. So this is the version 21. Yeah, this is the long-term support version. So right now they're asking for the server name, or should I say the login of like the user logging into that server. Let me see that. So I've typed my name and my password, and here now I've been welcomed into the system. So now, as per the assignment task, we are supposed to type in special or specific commands. So let me see, can I copy and paste this thing? Okay, so the copy and paste didn't work, so I'll just type it manually. So the first one is lsb_release-a. So basically this is a command that's supposed to display it sounds for like Linux standard based, the LSB, and then it's supposed to like show you the name of the distribution, so whether it's Ubuntu, whether it's Kali Linux, whether it's like so and so. Then it also gives you the version number, or supposed to give you the version number, and then any code name that's associated with it. Then the double bar sign is the logical OR, which just usually means that if the first command fails, run the second one. And then the second one is it's also basically the same command, so it reads the OS information, and then it basically just tells you that okay, like these are the details that you were looking for originally. So over here, when you look through, you can see the name, which says Ubuntu. You can see the ID Ubuntu. The version is Debian. You can see like pretty much most of those details, and then yeah, the code name is Noble. So yeah. Now the next command, where are we? Yeah, then you can see yeah. So then the next one is uname at uname-a. So it just displays the kernel name and then the host name and then the kernel version. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it displayed that, and then the next one is the free-h, which just shows like the RAM usage. Yeah. And then is there anything else? And then there's ls CPU, which shows the CPU being used the CPU architecture and the number of CPU cores we've allocated and the CPU model. Then the final two are the lsbk, which shows us the list of block devices, and then the df-h, which shows us how do I say it, which shows